Well, this week has been a really exciting week. So much work has gone on, it's hard to believe. The electrician, the plumber, carpenter, everybody's been round. There are holes everywhere, even here at the bottom of the steps. In the last house update, I showed you the drone shots and where we had the ring beam complete, and it was everything, all the shuttering had been removed except for the front. This week, Manel struck the last of the shuttering. We've also had the big struts, the supports for the front wall of the house removed. So I'm going to show you that now because it just looks so clean and nice. And this little window, got an update for you on that. The carpenter is going to make us a little window for here. Plus, we've got some mega exciting news coming up this week. So I'll tell you that later. We've got all the plumbing and the electrics in for the sink, hot and cold water supply, and electricity for a dishwasher. And if you're wondering where all this stuff goes, we can show you that too. But it's everywhere, all chased along here. For the plugs, the sockets, the lights. Well, the dust was unbelievable. The noise was incredible. Well, I've said it before, I am not a fan of concrete, but it's something we have to have in this building. It was either steel or concrete beams, and we've got concrete. I like to take advantage of things and make the best of what's there. I think it was actually the morning they were pouring the concrete ring beam for here, the front part of the house. We suggested to the electrician that we would maybe get lights in under the beam. So they put conduit in before the pour so that we can put lights in the future. Okay. Well, they've been washing walls as well. I couldn't stay for that because it was actually the day of my birthday and I was wearing my clean clothes and extremely unsuitable footwear. I won't tell you what I was wearing. But have a look at this. Remember these shelves?
Cupboard in the wall, complete with a bird's nest.
Well, look at them. Look at the shine. It's almost like mother of pearl. So gorgeous. The stone is beautiful. You see it? It's so good. We even have a new wall. Come and see. This is the wall to our bedroom. And now it goes all the way to the roof. So they're straightening out this wall so they can get a nice straight piece to dub out the walls for our corridor. As I said, they've been cleaning walls. Well, take a look here. The windows have been removed. They're also cleaned. And you won't believe this, they've been painting. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is a special type of paint because this was originally the kitchen.
And in this corner was an old rusty cooking stove.
And all of the walls were black. And that's from the soot and the carbon, I don't know, from lack of a chimney. And the whole place is sooty, and we will not be able to put render on the walls without this stuff. So that's why it's there. So it's not really painted. It's just a type of bonding for the plaster. I think it's really useful to video everything if you're not doing it yourself, to video where all the walls are chased for the conduit, in what place and what direction the conduit is going. I was going to say growing, just in case there's ever a problem in the future or you want to change things. So it's really nice for us having this documentation of our building. It's really great. Even we forget what happened a few weeks ago. Huge changes. Another window, look at that. This is the window that had the lovely triple shutter, and we've saved the shutters. I don't know if we're going to be able to actually use those shutters, but we can certainly use them as a template. This side of the house is going to be plastered, and they've already started dubbing out. Incredibly fast. Their flicking technique is really, really fun to watch. But they're so fast. It's over and done before you get a chance to get a camera out. Down below here we have a technical room, which was one of the animal rooms, and it will contain all the technical stuff like the plumbing and the electrics, like the beating heart of the house. So let's have a look and see what that's like. Here under the veranda, and there was a choice of two rooms, the one on my left and the one on my right, and they've chosen the one on my right. I'm going to let Dan tell you about the technical room because he likes technical stuff.
So in this room we'll have the tank for the hot water. All of the water supply will come through here. The electrical supply will be in this room, and in the future there will more than likely be some kind of heating in here. So we bought this old Portuguese street lamp in the second-hand market yesterday. We're thinking about lights and what we need to do and what we need to get enough light into this place. This is going to be the light for the top of the steps of the entrance to the house. Let me show you. It's a bit rusty and a bit dirty and tatty, Yesterday we sprayed it with WD-40. I'm going to try and take it apart so that we can rewire it and paint it and make it look fantastic. Yeah, that's moving. And that might have snapped.
Oh no. No.
Just that bit of metal's a bit corroded there.
Yeah.
Not to worry.
That freaking wasp's nest.
They're everywhere. Well, this has got to wait for another day. Give it a bit more of a soak in WD-40 and get the hacksaw out, I think.
We thought we'd take an opportunity to show you around the house with the roof still missing and let you see the layout, and Dan's going to show you that later.
This is the entrance to our house.
Dan, see, before we go into the house, let's take a quick look in the garden because I really want to show something fabulous.
We'll go down and have a look at the great birdseed experiment. So it's 6 or 7 weeks since we planted the birdseed, and they're taller than me now. I reckon next week we're going to see flowers.
So you might have seen the pumpkins in the drone shot, and these are our most successful pumpkin patch yet because we've sown them directly in the ground. No module sowing, just straight into the ground. But come and let me show you what this looks like. Oh, it's a little bit overgrown. But here, look here. This one, this is the Hokkaido, and it's at the getting ripe stage now. Gosh, it's really promising to be a super harvest. So now let's get back to Dan again.
You enter the house through the barn. This is quite a traditional, quite a common arrangement around this area for farmhouses. Here we go through the courtyard, then up the steps into the house. So this is the steps up to the veranda and the entrance into the house. This veranda is going to get a roof over the top, so we've got a nice shaded, sheltered area for eating outside and general socialising and relaxing. You walk straight through double doors into the kitchen, the dining room and then the living room. So these are the double doors into the kitchen. Oh, watch your footing around here. This part of the room is the kitchen. Right where I'm standing is going to be a fabulous island with a cooker in the middle of the island, the oven behind me on that wall. Those are the electrical outlets for the oven. And here we will have the induction hob and extractor. And this will be a great big island, something like 2 meters by 1.2, right in the middle here. So when Marie's lying on the sofa down the other end of the room, I can still talk to her. If she's sitting in the dining room, I can still chat with Marie.
And what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be doing the cooking.
And what about me? When do I get to use the cooking?
I cook most of the dinners, but Marie is the baker and the preserver. Now over there, towards the window, or in front of the window in fact, just above where the plumbing is going to be the sink. And then over to the right will be the dishwasher. So all the plumbing's kept together. You kind of want your sink and your dishwasher in the same place. And this is where I'll be scrubbing the potatoes and washing the pots and the things that won't fit in the dishwasher, which is just down here. I'll be able to look out at the view, look at that mountain view and the plane tree and the olive tree. I think we'll bring that olive tree down a little bit in height. It has grown rather vigorously in the last year or so. So along this wall, over the dishwasher, we're going to have a work surface, which will end before we get to this window. This window, by the way, gets cut and taken all the way down to the floor level, so we get a whole load more lighting. And this space here, in between the kitchen and the pillar, will be the dining room. And we've drawn the old table that we found in the house, and it fits beautifully in this space here. Opposite the pillar, on the opposite wall of the room, will be the fireplace. This is going to be the fireplace in the centre of the house. In the centre of this room be the fireplace to warm the whole house, and hopefully it's going to do a very good job, because at the moment our budget doesn't really stretch to the full heating installation. And then this section of the room is the living room. We'll probably have a sofa here, so imagine the bucket thing is the sofa. We'll be able to see the fireplace, and maybe the TV will be over here, so that we can watch our favourite YouTubes.
Ooh. I tripped over the sofa.
Over this side, this window will also be going down to the floor. And I'm not sure what will be going on this side of the room.
Probably somewhere for me to edit videos.
Ah, the video editing studio.
Yeah, because you will be...
I'll be over here. In this room here is going to be my office. I've got a cracking view out there onto our land. Not sure how much work I'll get done with that view to look at.
Shh.
Don't tell anyone. This is where it all happens. This is our bedroom. And the other side of that wall is the bathroom. We have the hallway running the whole length of the house. This is our bathroom. There'll be a dry wall along here for the corridor, and then another dry wall before you go into the utility. Through here is a doorway. And the utility room leads straight out onto the veranda. And the veranda leads onto the guest bedroom and the guest bathroom. So through here is the guest bedroom. I think it's a pretty decent sized guest bedroom, and it's the only bedroom, well, there are only 2 bedrooms, but this bedroom has a view of the land.
We've got water for the veranda, light switches, and we've got a wall for the shower too. You can't really see it behind the insulation, but it's in there.
This is the shower in the bathroom. It's where all those dirty, sweaty people will be washed.
Well, I said I had a big update for you, is that I've heard whispers that a really big and important delivery is on its way. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.